everybody, welcome to the Comedy Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today we are here to rattle off who will replace Jon Watts as the director of the Fantastic Four. Now, there has been a lot of names thrown out there. I mean, a lot of names. I've thought of a lot of names. I've put it out a lot of names. And like, we're all been talking about it. We're all talking about it. Now, while I disagree with some people who are so excited about Jon Watts leaving, I do have to, the reality is he did leave. So now it's time to move on. It's time to move on. It's time to think about who will replace him. And that's a hard question. That's a really hard question, because when you sit back and think about it, like, I mean, who does Marvel have that can replace them? Now, we got obvious suspects, and the obvious suspect is Peyton Reed. Peyton Reed, as many of you know, a long time ago, pitched an idea of the Fantastic Four to Fox back in the day. It was going to be a period piece or something along those lines. I believe it's going to be like in the 40s or 50s or something like that. And, you know, it got shot down. Of course, Peyton Reed would go on to direct the Ant-Man trilogy. So, you know what? You know why I don't think it's going to be Peyton Reed? I don't think it's going to be Peyton Reed because the reason Jon Watts left is because he was tired. Jon Watts left because he was tired, because he was like, dude, I've done 3 of the biggest Spider-Man movies of all time. He's arguably made the greatest superhero trilogy of all time, considering all 3 movies are in the 90s and all 3 movies almost made $1 billion. So it's like, you know, I've done a lot. I've done a lot. And, you know, and like I said, he's done one of the best superhero trilogies of all time. Like that's the Homecoming trilogy is one of the best trilogies in the MCU. It's probably technically it's the highest rated trilogy in the MCU, because Iron Man 2 was pretty poorly received. Iron Man 3 was okay received. While I love, and many of you love, Captain America: The First Avenger, it wasn't as received as Winter Soldier and Civil War. So technically, the Homecoming trilogy is the highest rated trilogy in the MCU. It's technically even more higher rated than the Avengers movies, because Age of Ultron's like a 75 or something like that. So yeah, now it's not like it's the second most profitable superhero franchise going right now, technically, right behind the Avengers franchise. So, you know, when you make the second highest grossing superhero franchise of the modern era, the trilogy anyways, you kind of want to go relax. And the same note could sort of apply to Peyton Reed, who's done 3 Ant-Man movies. You know what I mean? It's not like the Russo brothers were done too. Like, the Russo brothers did 4 movies and they were out. And that's why I don't think Peyton Reed's gonna want to come and do this, because I feel like he's gonna be kind of tuckered out. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Peyton Reed's gonna be gone after Ant-Man 3. So I don't think it's gonna be Peyton Reed. Though I do love Peyton Reed's idea, and it's also been the idea that I've been pitching for the last few years. It's for the Fantastic Four to be a superhero group that was formed back in like the early, you know, like the 50s and whatnot. Because like the Fantastic Four, like their style, the way they were made to be like, they were built like the prototypical family unit, the wife and whatnot, the wife and husband dynamics and whatnot. So to put them in, like, make them from a different period in time. And I had this whole pitch where it was gonna be like, oh, Hank Pym's mentor was Reed Richards when he was a boy, and Reed disappeared, and Hank didn't know what happened to him, and it'd be like, oh, Reed figured out the Pym particle before Hank did, because in the comics, Reed Richards does figure out the Pym particle before Hank did. But I digress. I'm not going to get into that tidbit again, but I don't think Peyton Reed would do it, because I think he's going to be done. Now we get to guys like Matthew Vaughn. Now, I don't think Matthew Vaughn's going to want to do this either, because Matthew Vaughn has a unique style to him. And I'm not sure it's gonna fit, because Matthew Vaughn's style doesn't say family. Like, that's the thing about the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four, which is why I was excited for Jon Watts, should be fun. It should be fun. It should be family, because that's what they are. There ain't no outside of Doctor Doom, the actual family unit themselves. We don't need no dark, twisted version of Fantastic Four. They already tried that. We need a fun family version of the Fantastic Four. We need a director who can play up the family dynamic, who can play up the fun of the family dynamic, a director who has like snappy timing with it, because that's the fun of that group together. They're a lot like, they're kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? There's a Guardians of the Galaxy-esque dynamic between the 4 characters, and we need someone who can capture that. And I don't think Matthew Vaughn is the guy to capture that. I really don't. I don't think he can. I never got that vibe with his movies with X-Men and whatnot. So Matthew Vaughn to me is a non-starter. Now you do have other people, like some people like John Krasinski. Now I don't know what John Krasinski can do. I don't know what his directing skills are. He's only done The Quiet Place, and I don't know. You know what I mean? It's not like he did some other comedy, like family comedy thing that turned out to be fantastic. He's just done The Quiet Place. And like, I don't want The Quiet Place in a Fantastic Four movie. So I don't know. Maybe he can do it, but it's an unknown if he can handle it. It's an unknown how he would handle it. John Krasinski does seem like he has a very fun, sensible attitude. I mean, he's for crying out loud, he was from The Office. And he's been in many comedies before. I mean, he created Lip Sync Battle. Clearly the dude has a sense of humor and he has fun. But I don't know if he can handle it. And if we want him to be Mr. Fantastic, I don't know if he wants to do both. Because the MCU is much different than just directing a regular movie. When you direct the MCU movie, you're directing a movie with a lot of moving parts. For the most part. A lot of moving parts. And if you're directing it, you're going to need your full attention on directing it. I do not think John Krasinski, director of one film, well, one major film anyways, can handle starring and directing in an MCU film. If it was just like a normal film, it was just some like off-brand film, like it was like a Sony film, I'd be like, okay, maybe he could do it. But no, this is the MCU. So if he's gonna star, he's not directing. I can tell you that right now. And then there's some other, like Deborah Chow and some people want Bryce Dallas Howard. Deborah Chow seems pretty cool, though I don't know. Though, like, once again, like her, I've never seen her direct a film before, so I don't know what the fuck kind of sensibilities she's gonna have. But for me, personally, to me, the director who I would want to direct the Fantastic Four is clear as day. It's clear as day. It's obvious. So many people keep focusing on style. Style! It ain't about style. It's about the substance. It's about the director who can capture the family dynamic of a superhero team, a superhero unit, and the drama that comes along with being a superhero family team, and the drama that comes along with having powers, and the drama that comes along with being in the public eye. There's only one director that I know who has already done this to an incredible, pun all intended, an incredible level. And that's Brad Bird. Brad Bird, the director of Incredibles and Incredibles 2. Now, Brad Bird, to be fair, it's funny, I've looked at his filmography, and a lot of his other movies outside of The Incredibles are very serious movies. They're like real serious, like some of them spy movies and shit. It's like, oh okay. How should you do The Incredibles? But either way, there has been a long-running joke in the comic book / fandom community that Brad Bird has already made the perfect Fantastic Four movie. And he has. And I just kind of imagine what a man who understands the dynamic of a superhero family could do with this. Because that's the most important part, is character. That's why the MCU has been as big as it's been. Because you can complain about the color palette, you can complain about a whole bunch of bullshit, but the big thing is character, and the characters and the character interactions and how the characters feel about each other and the upbeatness of it. And this guy knows how to do that. Who knows how to do the family drama dynamic along with the along with the superhero stuff. He's the only one I've seen thrown out there who actually has done this before, who actually knows how to do this thing. Everyone else is a mystery. I don't know if Bryce Dallas Howard can do this. I don't know if Deborah Chow can do this. You know what I mean? I don't know if I don't know if Matthew Vaughn can do this. I don't know what John Krasinski can do. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. And that's the irony. When people were so upset that Jon Watts got announced, I was fucking thrilled because I'm like, cool. Jon Watts understands the dynamic of of groups and the dynamic of just having fun with those groups and the beats and whatnot. I'm like, this is his ability I want with my Fantastic Four movie. I don't need anything dark and brooding. I'm like, dude, we don't, this is the Fantastic Four. It's called the Fantastic Four, not the dark and brooding Four, okay? We need someone who knows how to have fun with this, who knows how to be upbeat with it. And these are the guys that, and honestly, Brad Bird's the one. Now, another guys who they could get to do this, and I would fucking be on board with, is Lord Miller. They would never get Lord Miller But Lord and Miller would be amazing. Those guys know this shit. Those guys know how to have a good time, and that's the prime directive that I want. I want a director who knows how to have a good time, because these characters need to be like, it's like these characters were meant to be with Disney. They're literally a family of superheroes. Like, it's funny, a lot of people complain about edges, like some of the edges being taken off, like Moon Knight and certain other characters. The Fantastic Four are meant to be in Disney. Some people talk about things being Disney-fied, but the Fantastic Four, the prime thing they are, these explorer families, this Johnny Quest-esque family, these, you know, they are meant, this Venture Brothers, you know, esque family, they were meant to be with Disney. And you need to get a director who can play up the fun aspect of that, who can play it up. And I think, and honestly, my top candidates are Brad Bird and Lord Miller. Then I don't think they would ever get Lord Miller because of what happened with Solo. You know, that whole unfortunate thing. I still haven't watched Solo. I still haven't. If you guys want me to watch Solo and review it, comment in the comment section. I still have not watched that movie yet. But Lord Miller, Lego movie. Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. These are guys who know these dynamics, who know the family, and goddamn, what was it? Something versus the Machine. I can't remember the name of it. That animated movie that was on Netflix. These guys know family dynamics. They know the character interplays. They know how to do that and have fun with it. And that's the kind of sensibility I want with my Fantastic Four movies. So people who are going to have a good fucking time with this material. People are going to have a fun time with the material. Now, if one of these other people get announced, I'm not going to be like, oh my god. But, you know, or you get Steven Spielberg. Okay, alright, I'm sorry. Now I'm just throwing ridiculousness out there. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if they just come out and be like, yeah, Steven Spielberg's gonna do it? Be like, what? Be like, what? Huh? Man, they come out, Jordan Peele's gonna direct, nut, the thing is, I just got this gut feeling it's gonna be a name that no one's talking about. It's gonna be like a massive name, and you're gonna be like, what? Really? Martin Scorsese said, I think I can make this cinema. Can I have Mr. Fantastic be in a mafia or something? Anywho, my top names though, it's Brad Bird. Brad Bird's the guy I want. Lord Miller is a pie in the sky one, but if they can get Lord Miller, that would be amazing. I mean, of course, Spielberg. I mean, that would be great, Spielberg. I mean, there's a lot of Spielbergian. Only reason I throw Spielberg out there because there's a lot of Spielbergian things in the Fantastic Four story. You know, I could see him being interested in that. I don't see him being interested in doing it like the MCU way. So maybe they would have to give him a little bit more leeway and be like, okay, look, you can do your own solo movie, but can you at least tag this on to the end of it for us? You know, so we can do our own thing and be like, okay. But yeah, dude, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? If they get Spielberg to come on and do that. What if we get the Russo brothers to come back? There's so many options. So many options. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. Who do you think they should get to direct the new Fantastic Four movie? And do you think they already have that person locked down? Do you think they do? Or are we going to have to wait until, I don't know, Comic-Con or D23 to find out who the hell it is, or is it gonna leak out early? I'm so curious. Like I said, there's a lot of options on the table, but Brad Bird's my #1 choice with Lord Miller as a. It was thank you guys again. I'll see you on the next one.